Welcome to MiSpot, where we balance, heal, and activate who we truly are. All right. Y'all know me. You can call me High Key. Tonight, we are celebrating the third quarter moon. So it's been a little tricky because for months now, I'm not even sure how long, but for months, the new moon was at the beginning of the month and the full moon was towards the end of the month. However, I believe we had, I think it was two new moons in December. So that's made the full moon for this month, I guess, in the earlier part of the month versus the latter part of the month. So I have to process that in my head. I hope I'm saying the right thing. But I believe that the last new moon that we had was on the 31st of December, possibly. I hope I'm not making that up. In fact, I have my book right in front of me. So we ended up having, I'm looking at my Aura line book, my astrological planner. Oh, it's probably not going to have December in here because this started this year for 2025. I might be able to look it up on my phone. But long story short, I believe we had two new moons in December. So it ended up allowing the full moon. Yeah, I think it was on the 30th or 31st of December. We had a new moon, the second new moon in December. And then that made the full moon in the earlier part of January. So now the new moon is in the later part of the month. So we are celebrating the third quarter tonight, and there will be the Aquarius new moon next week. Okay, so I pulled my planner out in front of me because I wanted to share. Oh, excuse me. Okay. I wanted to share what's happening this week. Oh man, what is going on? Something's going on. So I wanted to share what's happening this week. Now, we'll be learning this together. So for this third quarter, we just had the holiday for MLK. The inauguration happened to happen in the US today, or same day. But we won't spend too much time on that. The overall holiday for today is the day that we have reserved for Martin Luther King's birthday. So there was actually a void of course moon. So you could have felt, just a little lazy, or maybe not super active, or you could have been active, but typically you might have felt kind of chill, or maybe kind of in between, maybe wandering or whatever, or wanderlust, kind of a very easy inflow and steady kind of energy. So you might have I spent a lot of time today on the road, driving back from the mountains. I'm excited about that. I went on a retreat, mind, body, and soul retreat, and it was absolutely lovely. We actually got snowed in, so that was fun. And so I did get back early, so that was great. And so we're starting off the week with the holiday, so it'll be a short work week. However, we do have this third quarter moon, which, let's just see what the third quarter moon could have for us. So third quarter moons are a time, or the keywords for this moment is reevaluate, balance, and trust. I should have known that because we've had that before. We studied that before. So like I was mentioning, it could be a little bit of like inflow, but you don't feel bad about it. Like you're not beating yourself up because you may not have gotten a lot done today. You might have actually just been kind of chilling, enjoying the holiday, enjoying the time off if you were blessed enough to have the time off. And if you work today, bless your heart, okay? We need people, of course, to continue to do what they do for the businesses that are open on this holiday. So, all right, the moon will be in Scorpio. Okay, this third quarter moon will be in Scorpio. And just for fun, before I do that, hold on. What else do we have this week? So the moon will shift from Scorpio for the third quarter. Then it will move into Sagittarius. That will be another void of course moon. How does that happen? So I thought the void of course was when the moon was kind of like in between signs. So maybe it's going to be in Sag and then going into that void on the same day. And then by the end of the week, it will shift into Capricorn. Okay. That will be another void, of course. Interesting. So those days, the energy of the moon could feel kind of comme ci, comme ça is what they said in French, like so-so. Like it's kind of either or. You're not really leaning more one way or the other. You're kind of cool with it. You're kind of going with it, okay? That's kind of what the energy says to me. Oh my goodness. Full moon journal. Okay. So new moon journal. So the Aquarius new moon. The theme would be curious, collaborative, and transmuting. So the Aquarius new moon is probably going to be pretty impactful. Number one, like I said, it is a new moon. It's also in Aquarius. And so it'll be a good time for manifesting in the house of Aquarius or where Aquarius could possibly fall in your chart, especially if it is your sun, moon, or rising. However, I can see this new moon that's coming up being powerful because Pluto has also shifted into Aquarius for the next, I don't know, 12, 15, 16 years or so. Okay, so we probably could be seeing Aquarius kind of, showing up pretty heavily. So it's like I said, it's a good time for manifesting and use that energy of Aquarius. Just kind of cover all your bases. So use the energy of Aquarius based on the house that it rules, or we could also use the energy of it based on what planets are in Aquarius at that time, if any. Then we could also see, if we know that it's our sun, moon, or rising sign, we could also focus on manifesting in those areas as well, okay? Whatever house Aquarius rules for you, that would probably be a good place of focus or a good theme. All right. Like I said, it could be themes of things you may be curious of. Curiosity kind of gives me that seesaw kind of energy, like I'm curious, but I'm not really leaning one way or the other. Or it could be like, well, I like this, but I don't like that, but I'm curious to know this part of it, that kind of energy, where you might be wanting to manifest a more collaborative type of partnership or project or agreement, something of people coming together, things you can work with people on. And then there's that transmuting energy, which is very powerful in a new moon. Aquarius being an air sign is definitely a thinker, a dreamer to an extent, could be kind of rebellious or like kind of closed off and like maybe to themselves, like a centered, I don't want to say self-centered, I guess they could be when they're in low vibrational energy, but Aquarius gives this like solo kind of energy, like very confident and comfortable being solo dolo, alone, okay? And remember, being alone does not mean that you're lonely. All right, so this moves into February. So that means that I think that we're good here for the planner piece. Let's see what's happening with the planets. So I will say that we're gonna just get funky with it, maybe funny with it too, with our friend Chat GTP or maybe even Siri. We can get funny and fun with asking them for some of these, for some information on these upcoming transits. Okay, so we got this new moon this third quarter moon that's in Capricorn, and then next week we'll have that new moon in Aquarius. Okay, so I shared the void of course moon. I shared that, of course, in a couple days the moon will move into Sagittarius, then it will move into Capricorn, and then it will go into Aquarius. Well, actually, yeah, it'll go into Aquarius, and then we'll have the new moon. So some other things that are happening are, it looks like, is this Venus? Mercury. Mercury is also moving into Aquarius. And so even though Mercury doesn't rule Aquarius, I don't think, Mercury does represent an air sign, which is Gemini. And so Mercury is that planet of communication, learning, mental agility, speech, reasoning, making sense of things, logic, those kind of things. So that could be a place where you might want to focus your energy, maybe see where Mercury is in your chart, or just being able to use anything surrounding that, like I said, that mental mindset, agility, reasoning, logic, communication, and speech. Like, what do you want to manifest in those areas? Okay. And then it looks like also next week is that Uranus is moving, the retrograde is ending. Okay. Uranus, we can look up what Uranus represents as well, and just kind of you'll probably actually feel more of a releasing during that time, in the areas that Uranus pretty much has a lot of power in, and especially if it is prevalent in your chart, I'll say. But that retrograde, you're probably going to feel some type of propulsion forward when that retrograde comes to an end. Okay, that's more towards the end of the month. It'll be after this upcoming new moon next week. Okay, so like I said, we're here for the third quarter where we're reevaluating, we're kind of getting recentered, regrouping, and trusting the flow. Okay, so don't resist it. Stay present. All right, if you need help staying present, you can listen to my grounding meditation. It's 5.5 minutes. All you have to do is lay there and enjoy the prompts. All right, it is not too far down on my YouTube. It's like my first Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what I was doing. It's my first YouTube video. It's called the 5-Minute Medicine Man. Excuse me. Guided. Wow. Guided meditation. All right. I think that's it. So, third quarter moon in Scorpio right now. And Scorpio represents that intense, secretive, transformation, passionate kind of energy. It's a water sign. So there could be some things you might want to, or some things could come up right now around those traits or characteristics, or that that energy, along with the balancing. That maybe you may be feeling like you're having to balance or trust and go with like the flow of transformation and what you're passionate about, and what some things could be intense as well, or there could be some things that are secretive and you're just kind of having to either hold some things close to vest, or you're kind of having to accept that you don't know something at the moment, okay? And trusting that whatever information or communication that you could be missing or you don't know will come to you, okay? Yes, that's a powerful message, that whatever you need to know will come to you, and to learn to trust that. Oftentimes, you know, when we feel or find ourselves having to like run after information, it's not necessarily good for us to go seeking for things. I kind of look at it like, if I feel that need, then that already means that something is left or something is wrong. Or if it's a person that I'm feeling that way about, and I feel like I have to go dig or do something to find out some information that I think they could be keeping as a secret, just the inclination and the inner knowing of that is enough for me to say, I don't trust them, right? So it's like, why even go look? If I have to go look, it's already done. So that could kind of be some energy that you could be feeling right now as well. All right. So I think I'm good with the, okay. So on the 25th, and you might have heard, on the 25th of this month, excuse me, oh my goodness, sorry. All the planets are supposed to be in alignment. So we're going to ask, what can we expect? Because that's just in a few days here. I think that is Friday, Saturday. It's gonna be interesting. So let's ask Siri, and then we'll also ask Chat GTP, and then we'll pull some cards. Okay. All right. So hey Siri. Hey Siri. What is good to know for the upcoming planets being in alignment on January 25th? Sorry. A planetary alignment on January 25th, 2025. When 4 planets will be visible in January, debunked. January 25th, once in 396 billion years, planetary, it's not giving me anything. Let's see, search Google. Let's see what happens. It's funny that it's giving me a Google search. All right, the planets won't be lined up behind each other like this. It's technically possible. This is technically possible, but will only happen every 396 billion years. I don't know who that is. Let's see, a planetary alignment on the 25th. There are 4 bright planets in the evening sky. That's right. And we're going to show you those +3 wonderful. What's special about January 25th? Sky enthusiasts across the United States will have the opportunity to witness a rare celestial event, a planetary parade featuring 6 planets, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus, aligned in a grand arc across the night sky. Okay. Yeah, it's giving mixed. Like, so this here says statesman.com says nothing special is happening on the 25th, but Venus and Saturn will be getting closer and they'll be having a conjunction between the two of them. Let's talk to, like, where's NASA? Where is time and date? I trust Moon Omens on Instagram. I think that they know what they're talking about. And I know that they have posted something about this. Where was the first place that I saw it? I can't recall. But I want to be able to kind of just be able to set some intentions around that day. I think that, you know, those are always a good time to be intentional and just particularly, I would say, speaking things into existence, or even taking action if you feel, you know, compelled or inspired to do so. So I know that we are not always able to see the planets, but all right, let's hear. So Fox 5 New York says you'll be able to see Venus, Saturn, Mars, and Jupiter across the sky as they will all orbit within a few degrees on the same ecliptic plane. Times of India says planetary alignment of Venus, Mars, and more. Mercury, the planet of communication and intellect, enhances clarity and adaptability, especially as it joins the alignment on January 25th. So something's definitely going on. All right. Something's going on. All right, so let's ask. Siri wasn't very helpful. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. I don't know what's happening. Okay, let's ask ChatGTP. So what intentions can we set for the planetary alignment on January 25th, which is my granddad's birthday? Bless his heart as he rests in paradise and power and peace. Let's see what ChatGTP says. All right, and I'm gonna start shuffling. Oh wow, we got a lot of information. Okay, on January 25th, 2025, a notable celestial event will occur as 6 planets, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, align in the evening sky. This alignment, often referred to as a planetary parade, presents a unique opportunity to set intentions that resonate with the combined energies of these planets. And I can help with that too. Oh, we already, look at you. Okay, that came out of the New York Post. Sorry, you always see stuff moving. Okay, love and relationships, Venus. We can set the intention to open our hearts and receive let me back up. Intention is, I open my heart to give and receive unconditional love, fostering harmonious relationships. The focus is cultivate self-love and strengthen connections with others. Planet number 2, action and courage, is the planet of Mars. The intention is I embrace my inner strength, taking decisive actions towards my goals with confidence. And the focus is overcome procrastination and face challenges head on. Third would be growth and abundance, which is our planet Jupiter. The intention is I attract opportunities for expansion and welcome prosperity into my life. The focus is seek personal and professional development. Fourth is discipline and structure, represented by Saturn. The intention, I establish healthy boundaries and commit to practices that support my long-term well-being. The focus is develop routines that promote stability and responsibility. Number 5, innovation and change, represented by Uranus. Intention is I am open to new ideas and embrace change as a pathway to personal evolution. The focus is break free from limiting patterns and welcome innovation. All right. And the 6 is spiritual insight and intuition, which is represented by our planet Neptune. And the intention is I trust my intuition and deepen my spiritual connection, allowing clarity to guide me. The focus is engage in practices that enhance spiritual awareness. All right. So, and when you set those intentions, you want to make sure that, we're clearly defining what we want to manifest. Making sure that our intentions are specific and heartfelt. We want to visualize or envision our intentions as already fulfilled, immersing ourselves in the emotions associated with their realization. The affirmation is to write down, we can also do affirmations to set those intentions by writing them down daily, and to reinforce our commitment, and then to align our actions with our intentions by taking practical steps towards their manifestation. So as you all can see, sometimes a lot of these things are, like I said, they're cycles. So it's just like a different theme or a different energy is just more prevalent. And so, the same things will come around from time to time, but some themes, and there's another word I'm looking for, spirit energies that are going to be supporting you more at certain times when those planetary energies are in certain positions. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. All right, when we align our intentions with the energies of these planets or the planetary parade, we can harness the cosmic forces to support our personal growth and transformation. And like I said, we're all about growth over here. If you are comfortable and good in your life and you don't see any areas, or you're not necessarily willing or wanting to grow, I am probably not going to resonate with you at all, and that is fine. There's plenty of energy that is comfortable, maybe being in the same place or doing the same thing, and I'm sure you can find that anywhere. Over here, I'm always going to be promoting growth from the inside out. It has worked for me wonderfully to bring my dreams to fruition, reality, and manifesting the desires of my heart. And so this year I have a couple of specific focuses, maybe 2 or 3. One is the top, and I'll share that as we move forward. And I know that people, are in alignment and are wanting to manifest the same thing or same things, and we can do those things together. So, but I know that when I set these intentions and continuing to use the astrological guide along with, just all of God's creation, I know that I can manifest some pretty powerful things. So it's like, for me, I know that 2025 is going to be a powerful year of transformation. It has already begun, and 30 minutes even was on the clock just now. So we'll leave that there. All right. So I didn't really ground us tonight. I hope that 30-minute intro was helpful. But I want to make sure that I'm able to get out the information that helps you to move forward. Yeah, that's it. Okay. All right. So, Holy Spirit, ancestors of love, divine and healing light, please protect us as we download the messages for our best and highest good. Anything that's not for our best and highest good, please close, shut, lock, and block that door. In Jesus' name. Amen. All right, Spirit. What's the message that you want us to know for our best and highest good as we set the intention under this third quarter moon in Scorpio, preparing us for the new moon in Aquarius? Nice. All right. We have balance, spirituality, and practicality, full moon in Pisces. And we have your commitment is being tested, first quarter moon. That's interesting. And then under the bottom of the deck, we have a win-win outcome is forecast, full moon in Libra. So that could be a message to allow ourselves to let our spirit teams show us the way. And Libra season could be significant, so not necessarily having to, we're not rushing, okay? We are chilling, we are in flow, and we are very present. Why do I have my phone? Because I was going to turn the heat up. I'm so cold. It's cold outside. Come on. All right, full moon in Pisces. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. Didn't we? That was Neptune. That was the energy of Neptune. Sorry, I just need to log in. I don't know why I have to log in. If I have to log in, you're definitely not on. So silly. All right. Excuse me. Okay. Let's put this back over here, actually. Full moon in Pisces. There we go. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. Have you been so head in the clouds that you've lost touch with reality? If so, take this card as a sign that you need to pay attention and make a concerted effort to move towards your goals. The more practical steps you can take, the better. It's time to find an inner balance between your responsibilities and your dreams. Meditate on your question, and the solutions to your issue may now come through very clearly. If you're in a tricky situation because you've been acting the martyr, this card will be a message from the cosmos to drop the act for everyone's sake. Attune with the moon. Meditate every day and see what comes to you. Answers will come. Additional meanings for this card: you're in a super romantic but not super realistic state. Follow your intuition, it won't let you down. At worst, this card can herald the end of a dream. The person you're inquiring about is a soulmate. Avoid substance abuse. The teaching: Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, so the full moon in Pisces symbolically it marks endings. When the moon is full in Pisces, or whenever you pull this card, it's a time to dive deep into your emotions. Practicality is at odds with the numinous Piscean energies that have no borders, so feel your way now. Psychic ability is heightened when the full moon is in Pisces, and soulmates now connect. It's also time to send out your dreams to the universe, releasing your fears. That's a good message. So we have to make sure we're balancing things out, not being head in the clouds and so romantic that we're not realistic. Definitely heavy on the following our intuition right now. And also avoiding substance abuse. Just kind of trying to stay of sober mind in this moment. It's probably not a good idea to be inebriated or high or drunk even. It could be a time of like purification and trying to keep ourselves as pure and open as possible. Like I said, of sober mind. That's actually scripture. I don't know which one, of course, but it's a being of sober mind. So, all right. First quarter moon, your commitment is being tested. All right. First quarter moon, oops. Your commitment is being tested. There could be some challenges coming your way, but they're just the universe's way of testing you. The first quarter moon calls for you to face any hurdles with confidence. What do you actually think is possible? If you believe you can do it, then you probably can. If you spend your life affirming that something is too big for you to surmount, it probably is. See how it works? Do you believe your dreams will come true, or have you secretly already given up? Showing some commitment now will help you move towards your desired outcome. What you believe to be true is true for you, so believe in yourself. Attune to the moon. I am committed to my dreams and move towards them with confidence. Additional meanings for this card. The answer to your question is yes, but not yet. You're halfway to your goal. You still need to put in a bit more effort. Sometimes we just need to realize how much we want something. You need to recommit to someone or something. The teaching. In the lunar cycle, the first quarter moon comes between the new moon and the full moon. It's a time when the sun and moon are at a hard astrological angle to each other, and this can prompt a small crisis. No matter when you pull this card, you need to see any dramas as a stepping stone to where you want to be. It can also be a time when you need to stay strong through a storm. So, heavy on the dreams and confidence and like moving towards your dreams. But like I said, there's a softness to this. There's an inflow, a balancing, a divine timing kind of energy. It's not a hurry up, okay? Like it says yes, but not yet. You're halfway there. You need to put in a bit more effort. And I love this. Sometimes we just need to realize how much we want something. You need to recommit to someone or something. And it mentioned how the first quarter moon comes between the new moon and the full moon, but it's the first quarter is right after the new moon. Yeah, it's the new moon. No, did I do that right? Yeah, new moon, first quarter, third quarter. No, new moon, first quarter. Yeah. Oh gosh, I'm screwing up. The new moon is dark. The full moon is light. So I believe or maybe it's new moon, first quarter, full moon, third quarter. That's not right. Anyway, don't just scratch that. Let me go back because I can. Yeah, new moon first quarter, full moon third quarter. See, I gotta trust myself. All right. And a win-win forecast is a win-win outcome is forecast. So I'm kind of getting the energy of like continue to focus on yourself. Like I said, staying of pure heart, sober mind, being good to your body right now, and just giving it your best through Libra season. I would say through the rest of the year. Just focus on the year. I'm not saying to stop at the end of the year, but to have in your mind that the goal is this 365 that we have in front of us, okay? There we're almost a 12th of the way through, quote unquote, a 12th. All right? Okay, so thank you, Spirit. We'll leave these out here. And what else we got? I do want to pull a Divine Feminine card because the ladies, the feminine energies are, I think just kind of like starting to understand our role, our purpose, and what we need to be focused on. I think that many of us are stepping more into our feminine energy, whether you want to call it your soft era or your where you're balancing, we're learning to balance our masculine and feminine energy. So a lot of like independent women who might I think I messed them up. But a lot of independent women who might have a tough time, whether it be being submissive, and I'm not saying be a pushover or a doormat, but understanding how to allow a man to lead when you are independent. So you could have like an assertive personality, because that's what's required of you to take care of yourself. So a lot of us are learning to, wow, see that? A lot of us are learning to soften ourselves up, learning to allow and being more submissive and allowing ourselves to receive, particularly from the universe, from God, allowing ourselves to let things happen. That's why I talk about like being in flow. And I think that that's starting to wake the masculines who are ready to do the work or who get it or are in alignment. It's starting to click, and the circuits are starting to like pop off, and people are starting to show up. But I think that right now the revolution is being televised through the feminine. But there are masculines that are waking up. So I just wanted to love on our ladies and give them some encouragement. So we have Wounded. This card says, I will not allow toxic people from the past ruin me for future encounters. I take my power back now. Okay? So you could be in a space of recognizing your wounds, healing your wounds, and allowing those wounds to turn into wisdom, or give you the wisdom of representing what's toxic and not in alignment for you. Okay? That could apply to masculine energy as well, as far as recognizing what's not in alignment with you, what's toxic, what has wounded you in the past, and how you're going to learn from it and show up for yourself now in the future. And so you're not going to allow the past stuff and the same energies to come and do the same thing and ruin what you're trying to do in the future. So you could find yourself taking back your power. And a lot of that, like I said, is not running after things, not always being in masculine energy and chasing or hunting, but knowing that there's a balance, there's a give and take. Okay? And so a lot of women who have been in high masculine energy are learning to soften and learn to receive, where masculines are also learning that they don't always have to be always in chasing and hunting kind of mode, that they deserve to also be loved on, and they can relax in that energy as well. Okay, not feeling like they always have to be in control. That was the word I was looking for. All right, on the bottom we have match. What I want is also seeking me, and it is that energetic frequency that will draw these 2 points together. I like that. It's reminding me of that alignment that's happening on the 25th. And match. See what I'm talking about with like bringing like things coming in? It's a little bit of emphasis on love, I see. Like I said, we've been healing codependency, and we've been learning to turn our wounds into wisdom, and our pain into power or purpose. A lot of us are going to be great examples of love. I know for a fact there are a lot of feminine energies and masculines as well, but I think it's like starting with the feminine at this moment, where we're being prepared for blended families. We're being prepared to bring two different families together. There could definitely be children involved. But there is a big lesson and huge examples to be learned and shown respectively on how to communicate, how to co-parent, and how to represent unconditional love. For an example to possibly the children in our different situations, but it could also be examples to others who may be doing a bad job or feel like they can't get it right, or they're not doing it in a healthy way. Co-parenting is hard. Communication is hard. People aren't doing their part. People aren't showing up, or like that. Like we're releasing the toxic bonds that we could have with parents, or the opposite parent of our children, the other parent of our children. And then we are fostering and bringing in relationships that are teaching our children how it should be done, because the relationship is healthy. It has communication. It has co-parenting ground rules, or understandings, or agreements even, or schedules, making sure that we are splitting our children and giving them time equally with both parents. And I know sometimes it can be hard, and it may not be realistic all the time with school and just a whole lot of things, but making sure that there is a structure, okay? And there are times where things can change in that structure or that schedule, but not every other day. It's like 90% of the time we're on target, we're on schedule, we're doing what we said we're going to do, we're doing what we agreed to do. And it's not at the drop of a hat. Emergencies are emergencies, but we should not be having emergencies every other day. And I know that some folks don't have that kind of stability. And that is what I think a lot of the blended families are going to be able to show our children, is that consistent stability, giving them a solid foundation that they deserve, to see how communication is important in relationship, to see how co-parenting can be done in a healthy way, and it's not toxic, it's not manipulative, it's not about using the other parent for what you want. It's not about just tying ourselves to another person because we can't be alone. Okay, I digress. But I've been getting that for a while, that a lot of us are being prepared for blended families. So I don't know what else to put it. All right, let's do a soul's journey. So continue to heal your wounds. Know that you may have to be intentional with being present, okay? And there are many things out there to help us do that. One of the simplest things for me is always gratitude. First thing in the morning when you wake up is to give gratitude, be thankful for something. You can name one thing, 3 things, 5 things, 10 things. Whatever works for you, but it's a nice place to help center ourselves and be present. And the more you do it, the more you're aware of it, and the more you practice it, and the more you practice it, the more that you are able to manifest and benefit off of it, because you're present and you truly can show up in the moment. You're not thinking too far in the past, you're not thinking too far in the future, you're truly in the moment. Okay, for those of us that are manifesting love, recognize that our commitment to ourselves is being tested. So to not lose ourselves for love or in love, making sure we still have our own independence, our own story, and we're able to stand whole, within our truth all by ourselves. We're not looking for someone else to validate us. Making sure that we're balancing out our spirituality and our practicality, okay? We can be dreamers, but we have to be realistic, all right? Not trying to squeeze blood out of a turnip, okay? We have to make sure that our goals are realistic. So heavy on the goals and dreams and confidence, and trusting, and knowing that there is a win-win outcome on the horizon. Trust. Trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. On the bottom, humor. Don't take ourselves so seriously, right? I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. This is that energy I'm talking about, like being in flow, being present, making sure that we are not frustrated if we feel like we're not moving enough or doing something fast enough. Like truly being in the moment. Okay? Reevaluating in the present moment. All right? And feel good and calm and at peace with that. Feel very grounded in that energy of being in flow. Okay? It's a very, very beautiful place to be. It's very peaceful when you can kind of roll with the punches. Like I was saying, we got snowed in the mountains this weekend, or yesterday. Well, we got snowed in the whole weekend, but it snowed all day yesterday. And so I had planned to leave, but it was just I just wanted to leave so I could have another full day at home before returning back to work. And I just decided that it was just not smart to go out. It just, for what? You're safe, you're warm, you have food, you have shelter. So I had to switch to my phone because my iPad went out of storage. So I really need to get on the ball with that. But trust. We're going to read the trust card and then we're going to wrap it up. Trust. I like it. Oh, excuse me. trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. The earth can be a tricky place, but you have been given a tool to help you navigate through the murky waters, your intuition. You must learn to tell the difference between ego talk and soul talk, and then trust your soul. Once you get into the habit of following your intuition, you will come to practice that discernment externally. You will be able to know if a person or situation is trustworthy. But it all begins with listening to your inner voice. Exercise it like a muscle, and when you determine that it is always right, that wisdom will spread out and influence everything that you do. Decisions will seem easier. Your soul only wants what's best for you, and you must learn to trust it. These cards are like talking to each other. We talked about intuition being, we were talking about being heavy on the intuition, being present, discernment, and how you'll start to show up in the moment. And when you're showing up in the moment, you really can maximize the most of that moment because we're truly present. Okay, we're tapped into our spirit. We're tapped in because we are grounded, and we're able to make the right decision based on that. Okay, exercising that intuition like a muscle. And it was something about inner voice. I heard something about inner voice came up on one of these other cards. It might have been the full moon in Pisces with the balance in spirituality and practicality. Or maybe it was the trust card, but trust has come up. That's the theme of the third quarter moon. So I thank you, Spirit, for showing up for us this evening. Always go within so you never go without. I love you, but God loves you more. And we'll see you next time. Good night.